Well, it's Memorial Day, a very somber day in American history. One of the holidays in which we don't put the word happy in front of them. We don't say Happy Memorial Day. It's a day where we remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice in defending our country, all the way from the Civil War through Afghanistan, Desert Storm, and all of the battles that our country has been involved with. Many people from Beaver County have fought in those battles. Some never returned. We remember them this morning as Beaver County Radio is set up out front of the Beaver County Courthouse. It's the Beaver Memorial Day Parade, and the street is lined with a lot of patriotism. Families and individuals who've come out to honor those on Memorial Day. We will have a band. There will be, I saw a fire truck come through earlier. The Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, different marching units will be here as well. But we don't lose sight of the fact that this is all about those who gave all, the Gold Star mothers, the Blue Star mothers, the families, and those who survived the battles. Remember their fallen colleagues and come out to pay homage to them in terms of the greatest sacrifices that could be made of all the wars that we have been in, several from Beaver County. In each town, we're in Beaver here this morning, but in every town across Beaver County, there's a Memorial Day parade or a Memorial Day service going on. They're individualized because we have lost people from all over Beaver County in wars. And so in many places, I can remember as a grade schooler out front of our grade school at the time, there was a war memorial, a plaque, a very tall plaque, probably 5 foot or 6 foot at the time, and it had the names engraved on them. And you probably have one in your community as well, where you go and you read the names and realize that those were young men and women who went to battle, and they were no older than you were at the time, for the most part. As I was reading through some of the names of our tributes on Beaver County Radio this morning, I saw that many were just 18 years old. And you think about yourself, and I think about myself when I was 18 years old, to think that you go to the service and you fight for your country, you leave your parents and your loved ones behind, and some of them never returned. It's a sad fact of American life. It's one of the things that we have to keep in mind as we think about our freedoms. And when you think about your freedoms, you definitely have to think about those who came before us and didn't live to old age. Cemeteries across Beaver County and across the nation, as a matter of fact, will be adorned with red, white, and blue flags that are placed on the graves of veterans and placed on the flags by volunteers within the communities. If you remember as a child how important this day was, and we're seeing people who are lined up, and in the past hour, we have generated a lot more of a crowd. When I first came here at about 9:30, it was rather sparse, and wondered, wow, is the rain going to keep people off? Well, don't let the weather keep you out of a memorial service in your community. It's a little breezy here now. Could be like a day at the beach, a slight breeze blowing. The rain has moved beyond us, so I don't expect, according to our forecast, that there's going to be rain during these ceremonies. So you owe it to yourself and to the country to come out and memorialize those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. So it's not as if you need to rush out and buy hot dogs and hamburgers for the family picnic today. If you have loved ones who were in the service and they're in a local cemetery, stop by and pay your respects. There are many veterans who are buried in the Allegheny National Cemetery, and people will be traveling there as well. So we are proud to be a part of this. If you see behind me, there is no reviewing stand here. For the Veterans Day Parade, there's a reviewing stand where a lot of dignitaries will show up and salute the passerbys in the parades, but again, because there are so many communities that are participating in Memorial Day parades, you're not gathering that crowd of people. They're probably staying within their own districts and taking part in their parades as well. So we'll continue. I'm Mike Rowe. Mike Curtis Walsh is here with me. As part of our broadcast throughout the morning today, we've been paying a tribute to our fallen veterans, and I want to read a couple of those as well, and you get the concept and get the feeling if you don't know what Memorial Day is all about. You got a story of James Everett Graham Jr. He was born in 1947 on October 31st. He died on September 24th, 1966. Graham was a graduate of Rochester High School and served in the U.S. Marine Corps, attaining the rank of Private First Class E2 after 1 year. He was treated for injuries and 4 days later died at the age of just 18 in Quang Tri on September 14th, 1966. He received 2 Purple Hearts, a Vietnamese Medal of Valor, Military Merit with Oak Leaves, and many other medals. This is just one of many Beaver County residents who went to war and didn't come home. So we remember them today. I'm Mike Romai, and you're listening to Beaver County Radio. We'll take a short break and come back. The parade steps off at about 10:30 here in Beaver.
Beaver County Transit Authority connects you to where you want to be. The doctor's office or well-deserved shopping spree will take you to wherever you please.
The Beaver County Transit Authority Fast Forward Summer Pass is back in 2024. The application is now available online at bcta.com or in person at the Rochester Transportation Center. The days are getting longer and the weather is warming up. Don't miss your chance to travel around Beaver County and even into Pittsburgh all summer long. Children ages 6 to 21 ride free between June 1st and August 31st.
Safe, no fuss, leave the driving to us. Adventure's just a ride away. Beaver County Transit Authority, BCTA. Ride the bus.
Falling in love is one thing. Having anxiety about falling is a whole different subject. If you or a family member are concerned about falling, and yes, either up or down the stairs, or maybe even out of bed, St. Barnabas has a special message and some ideas just for you. Years of experience in working with people who are prone to falls has given St. Barnabas special expertise in this area. Call them at 724-443-0700 and learn about ways that you can begin to feel more confident and safe, including suggestions that you can implement right now into your daily routine. Call St. Barnabas at 724-443-0700. For many years now, St. Barnabas has been helping people fall, in love that is, with their new, better life, a longer life, a risk-free life. Call St. Barnabas now at 724-443-0700 or visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com and learn more about living longer and better.
Memorial Day is a day to celebrate America and all our servicemen and women, both active and retired. We can't think of a better way to celebrate than by joining us at Moon Township Ford and taking home America's #1 selling truck, the Ford F-150. Prices have been slashed on all F-150s, APR as low as 1.90% up to 72 months, plus thousands off the price. Additional $500 for current active duty military and retired career veterans. Prices slashed on almost every vehicle on the lot in anticipation of Memorial Day. Moon Township Ford, family owned, has been proudly serving Beaver Valley for 30 years. Conveniently located on University Boulevard down the hill from Robert Morris University.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Subject to approved credit. Must finance with Ford Motor Credit to take advantage of special APR and rebate offer. Not valid on Tremor or Raptor trims.
It's a breezy morning in Beaver County. The rain has blown away from us for the time being. I think, as I remember the forecast from earlier this morning, that it was going to have a chance of showers up until about 9 o'clock. Throughout the early morning hours, we did get quite a bit of rain, but that is out of the system right now. It's cloudy, it's breezy, but it's a comfortable day for you to attend one of the memorial services or parades around Beaver County. Beaver County Radio is here across from Quay Park in Beaver, of course, the seat of Beaver County. The Fort McIntosh Club is a vital part of what Beaver is and has always been, in reverence to the soldiers and the folks who fought here. Fort McIntosh, there's a lot of history involved in the town of Beaver, and we are here broadcasting the parade from Beaver today, not to diminish a number of parades that are going on around the area this morning. So Quay Park, across the street where the cannons are set and war memorials, they just represent so much of what our country is all about. And not only the country, but the county as well, going all the way back to the Civil War. If you go to some of your local cemeteries and you walk around, you'll see headstones from the Civil War era. Men from the county who served in the war between the states, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Afghanistan, and so many of the other conflicts that our country has been involved in over the years. There are people who come from Beaver County who served proudly in the U.S. military, and those folks have family members still here today, and they come out in honor of that. Grade schoolers learn about the freedoms that we enjoy, and the reasons that we have those freedoms are portrayed here on a day like Memorial Day. Memorial Day is more than just a picnic, more than just a barbecue, and more than a car or a mattress sale. It's you get the day off today to honor those, and we hope that you'll do so. We have a strong history of service in Beaver County, and it seemed as though, for a number of years, there were a couple of decades where it may have been out of favor for people to volunteer for the military. And then came along 2001, September 11th, 2001, when we were attacked as a nation. And immediately, it was almost, people have referred to it as almost like Pearl Harbor all over again. When the United States is attacked, the people respond. And after the Twin Towers and the terrorist activities that were going on during that time, Americans seemed to find their patriotism again. And a number of young men and women came out of school and served time in the military to defend our nation. So that's what it's all about, and we remember them today, those who never came back from war, in terms of a somber remembrance. And once again, we go back to and remind people that you don't say happy Memorial Day. It's a happy Veterans Day when Veterans Day rolls around, but it's not a happy Memorial Day because of the families and the friends. I was talking about this a little bit this morning, and you hear a lot about, especially the Vietnam veterans, but it goes back to all wars where soldiers come home and they experience some difficulties, mentally and physically. But it wasn't understood by a lot of people who never went to battle what these young men and women were dealing with on an emotional level, and the memories that they have of the people they fought with who didn't return, family members who gave the sacrifice of their young children, their boys and girls who decided to go into the military. It's part of people's families, and generation after generation served in battles. But those who came home remember those who didn't, that they fought beside, that they knew, that they cared for, and not understanding why they survived and others didn't. It's a heavy burden that so many people carry, and they come out, and we come out to honor those brave young men and women. David Carl Luthan was born on May 22nd, 1946. He died on May 29th, 1966. He was a graduate of Beaver Falls High School, served in the U.S. Marines as an infantryman. In 2 years of service, he attained the rank of corporal. And on November 29, 1966, at the age of 20, David perished in the province of Quang Nam, South Vietnam, while with the F Company, 1st Battalion. Curtis Lee Jeter Jr. was born December 31st, 1946. He died on December 16th, 1966. Jeter Jr. was a graduate of Aliquippa High School and served in the U.S. Army, attaining the rank of Private First Class E3. On December 16, 1966, at the age of 19, he perished from fragments of a grenade. He only served 4 months in Vietnam with Company B, 101 1st Airborne Division, before his death. So these are the people from all around Beaver County, all our towns, boroughs, and municipalities who died, and we pay honor to on this Memorial Day. We'll continue with our broadcast of the Beaver Parade outside of the Beaver County Courthouse. I'm Mike Romine along with Curtis Walsh on Beaver County Radio.
Falling in love is one thing. Having anxiety about falling is a whole different subject. If you or a family member are concerned about falling, and yes, either up or down the stairs, or maybe even out of bed, St. Barnabas has a special message and some ideas just for you. Years of experience in working with people who are prone to falls has given St. Barnabas special expertise in this area. Call them at 724-443-0700 and learn about ways that you can begin to feel more confident and safe, including suggestions that you can implement right now into your daily routine. Call St. Barnabas at 724-443-0700. For many years now, St. Barnabas has been helping people fall in love, that is, with their new, better life, a longer life, a risk-free life. Call St. Barnabas now at 724-443-0700 or visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com and learn more about living longer and better.
Memorial Day is a day to celebrate America and all our servicemen and women, both active and retired. We can't think of a better way to celebrate than by joining us at Moon Township Ford and taking home America's #1 selling truck, the Ford F-150. Prices have been slashed on all F-150s, APR as low as 1.90% up to 72 months, plus thousands off the price. Additional $500 for current active duty military and retired career veterans. Prices slashed on almost every vehicle on the lot in anticipation of Memorial Day. Moon Township Ford, family owned, has been proudly serving Beaver Valley for 30 years. Conveniently located on University Boulevard down the hill from Robert Morris University.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Subject to approved credit. Must finance with Ford Motor Credit to take advantage of special APR and rebate offer. Not valid on Tremor or Raptor trims.
Beaver County Transit Authority connects you to where you want to be. The doctor's office or well-deserved shopping spree will take you to wherever you please.
The Beaver County Transit Authority Fast Forward Summer Pass is back in 2024. The application is now available online at bcta.com or in person at the Rochester Transportation Center. The days are getting longer and the weather is warming up. Don't miss your chance to travel around Beaver County and even into Pittsburgh all summer long. Children ages 6 to 21 ride free between June 1st and August 31st.
Safe, no fuss, leave the driving to us. Adventure's just a ride away. Beaver County Transit Authority, BCTA. Ride the bus.
Beaver County Radio in Beaver for the Memorial Day Parade. I heard the sirens just a couple of seconds ago, and usually means that the parade is about to start. We're standing in front of the Beaver County Courthouse. Curtis Walsh is here with us this morning as well. Curtis, a little different without all the dignitaries lined up on a podium behind us.
I was expecting more, to be honest with you, Mike. Whenever I got here this morning, I was a little surprised there was no stage or anything, no staging area for the event, and we're the only ones here.
Yeah, I suppose that there are like state senators and representatives who are in their own communities with a parade today, so they have to show up for that. I was talking with actually Commissioner Amadeo a couple of days ago, and I said, well, I guess I'll see you down at the Memorial Day Parade. And he said, no, we weren't invited. So I thought there would be something else set up here, but there's not. It's just all about the memory of those who served and perished, I suppose, is why we don't have more of a contingency here.
Right.
Which is probably good
Sure.
for some people. Some people don't want to see politicians and probably thinking that they're making it too political. So it's probably a good idea to a certain point.
Well, I do notice, I hear drums.
Yeah, that'd be good. And as I mentioned earlier, that all communities are having a parade from Baden to Beaver Falls and all points in between. Monaca's having one, Baden's having one. I don't know if they got that street light fixed, that traffic signal fixed.
I think they did. I think they've got it cleaned up and the roads reopened.
In Baden for that. But you see the breeze blowing.
Got some wind coming through.
Yeah, those trees are moving. We've had some severe weather over the past week or so, and we haven't really been hit hard by it, but we did have some heavy rain overnight. The rain's supposed to hold off now, though, but the winds are really kicking up here in Beaver.
They sure are. Like you were saying, Mike, this is just one of the tributes to the fallen soldiers today in the county, as many of the towns have their own parades and own tributes. We're glad to be part of this one.
What do you, you're younger than I am. I don't know what it was like when I was younger. They, especially high school age, Vietnam was still going on. And I know a lot of people at my age group were fearful that once we graduated that we'd get drafted. There was a draft at the time, very unpopular then as it is today. That's why we don't have more drafts for military service. But it ended in 74, 75. But since that time, there's been Desert Storm, there's been Afghanistan. When you learned it in school, what was Memorial Day about? What did they talk about as far as the sacrifices are concerned?
I just remember, they would talk to us about the wars that had taken place, and to make sure, we should greet veterans, paying our respects to them. And, they went over, general things. They didn't go too far into a lot of the wars, like especially Vietnam. They didn't go too far into teaching us as much about them, but they definitely covered.
Wasn't necessarily popular, as a lot of Vietnam vets would tell you today. It's interesting to talk with them. A lot of folks that I know one, Jim Saganik, who is in the parades all the time in Beaver Falls. He served in Vietnam as well. I'm going to have to cough there for a second. But and he attends all of them, and he marches. And I see Mick Jones, who is the city manager in Beaver Falls. He served as well and is always part of the color guard in Beaver Falls. Mike McCullich, I know from Ambridge, served in Vietnam as well. And it's only now, and many of them still won't, but it's only now where they feel more comfortable about talking about their service. And I think back in World War II and Korea and some of those places, it was something when they came home, they just clamped up. They didn't talk about it. They didn't want to talk about it. People want to ask them questions, but I think a lot of times they were offended. Somebody said, "Did you ever shoot anybody?" Or, what was it like in war? And they just didn't want to talk about it, and they lived their whole lives like that.
Sure. Like I said, I know you say some have opened up. I've seen documentaries and things where a lot have, but and I think that's their right. If they don't want to speak of the things they saw, or it can get to them, and we see things with PTSD and things like that affect people who've come back.
Definitely. And when I was a child, when I was a youngster, I didn't understand what Gold Star mothers were, what Blue Star mothers were, and the organizations like the Legions and things like that. We didn't understand that until we got older, and today we have a much greater appreciation for those folks, and realize the loss and the sacrifice that a lot of the families had given up.
We sure do. Well, Mike, I think the parade is getting closer to us. I'm hearing the drums and music a little louder, so I'm going to go ahead and step back on behind the camera, and we'll get the coverage of the 2024 Memorial Day Parade in Beaver underway.
All right. Thank you very much. Curtis Walsh with me this morning here in Beaver. As we turn our attention to the street, I see Jimmy Ross right behind you there. Jimmy Ross of the Jaggers is here, and his lovely wife and their little poodle there. But as we look down towards the town, we see the police cars and everything else. Jimmy, how are you?
Hey,
Good to see you,
man. Nice
Good
to see you. You
I
too.
said I saw you creeping around back there.
I was creeping.
How are you today?
Good. I'm great, man.
Memorial Day, what's it mean to you?
Can't wait for the parade.
It's coming right up now.
I'm here.
I'm sure you were in that age group. You're a little bit older than me, but you probably knew a lot of guys who went to war.
That's right. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
And this is a very somber holiday.
I'm here every year.
All right.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Jimmy Ross of the Jaggers, of course. And the Beaver Memorial Day Parade is making its way, I would say, past the reviewing stand, but there is no reviewing stand. We are going to give you the information on the groups as they come by, led by the Beaver Vanport Industry Police Department, as we see more regionalization of police departments around the area. The banner, the Beaver Area Heritage Foundation, leads the parade with the Beaver Memorial Day Parade, and the Beaver Area High School marching unit is coming by us now. Reenactment groups paused here in front of the courthouse. Sons of the Revolution. Beaver High School has a large ROTC program here in Beaver. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, you're seeing I'm standing at attention in front of our radio station table. You'll be able, if you're not watching, if you have access to Facebook and the internet, go to WBVP-WMBA and you will be able to see the marching units coming through. We have reenactors from the Civil War that we're watching right now. Beaver High School is coming up shortly as the wind kicks up once again in Beaver. The parade just kicked off at 10:30 here in Beaver, and it's quite a sight to see. One of the flags that are flying here at the parade, the Civil Air Patrol of Beaver County, is going to be approaching, and the Beaver Area Varsity Band will be coming shortly. Attorney Nate Bible just walked up. Nate, how are you?
I'm good, Mike. How about yourself?
Very good, very good. This is quite a reflective moment here at the Beaver Parade.
It absolutely is, and I love coming down. I come down here every year, and it's nice to see so many people come out today, take a little risk on the weather, and just to pay respect and remember those who fought for our country. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They've taken a pause here, and I don't know how big the parade is because in every community they have a parade today.
That's right, exactly. I know, and I tried to. The Beaver one seems to be maybe the bigger one in the community, and so I always try to get here. But I wanted to try to make it to Ambridge today too. But I think it's in about 15 minutes.
About the same time.
Yeah, that's right.
And so here, reenactment from the Civil War.
Yeah, I love it. I wonder how old that flag is.
I don't know. It's amazing. It doesn't have 50 stars on it, I can tell you.
Right. Yeah. Right.
What does Memorial Day mean to you, your family?
So you know what? There weren't a lot of people in my family that served in the military, but and I think because of that, I have a very, very high respect for those who did, and I can never imagine what some of those families have gone through, losing someone, fighting overseas. But like I said, it's nice to see so many people come up and pay their respect.
Nate Bible, Beaver County District Attorney. Here's the Beaver High School Marching Band. Beaver Area High School Band going by, and coming past our vantage point here is Beaver Mayor Tom Hamilton, longtime Beaver Mayor Tom Hamilton, and that's quite a good-looking car he's being driven in. Behind the mayor is the Beaver Area Heritage Foundation. They are the annual parade sponsor. That's a classic Continental. Lincoln Continental. Speaking of Jimmy Ross, he didn't have one that old, but I know he and all the Jaggers had one as well. About 1972. Here's the Beaver clergy coming through. Another classic Electra, Buick Electra. It looks like it says 225 on it. Now, the Beaver class president is coming by our reviewing stand. Doesn't have her name on the car, but it says senior class president, so we'll give her props for that. U.S. Armed Forces veterans, and there they are marching by as we speak. Members from the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. Carrying the colors, walking proudly. As our veterans age, fewer and fewer of them are able to make the parades and walk in the parades, but it's definitely wonderful to see them represented here this morning as they are throughout the county. The World War II veteran coming by us now. Wish I could give him the proper credentials, but it doesn't say his name on the car, so we salute him for his service. Veteran coming by. It's wonderful that the rain has held off because these cars are convertibles, and you are able to see the veterans with the roofs down in the vehicles as they come by. There's looks like 3, 4, 5 veterans riding in vehicles. This is a classic Woody. I don't know if you know much about classic cars, but this is one that probably should be one of our car cruises. That's a Woody. Beautiful. Beautiful car. U.S. Army Jeeps coming through. I see 3 of them. very sought after nowadays. The Jeeps, United States Marine Corps Jeeps, U.S. Army Aviation. These are all representative of Beaver County and of Beaver. There they are, motoring past us. It's a rarity to see them throwing candy out, but there's some. Usually on Memorial Day they don't throw a lot of stuff out to the crowds, but there's one that came by that did that. So the little kids got a little candy treat in Beaver this morning for the Memorial Day parade. Coming up, representing the American Legion in the parade, displaying the colors as they march down 3rd Street. Disabled American veterans are coming by in a vehicle. Vietnam-era veterans giving a salute and a thumbs up to many of the people in the community. Even our Vietnam veterans. It used to be that we talk about World War II veterans as they age, but even the Vietnam-era veterans, all mostly in their 70s, late 70s at this point in time, but still able to come back. Warren Goss, Utah Beach, June 6th, 1944, World War II veteran. Salute you for your service, sir. Thank you very much. Glad that they were able to put a name on the side of the vehicle so that we can see a car, old Mustang with a Korean veterans riding in it. And I'm just going to be quiet here for a second because you can hear the crowd, at least in front of Quay Park and in front of the courthouse, where it's just a continuous applause for the veterans who are riding through in the cars. U.S. Air Force veteran. Remembering those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. A van with Vietnam-era veterans. Vietnam-era veterans, more coming through. It's been more special for the Vietnam-era veterans over the last 20 years because for so long they felt that they weren't appreciated coming home from their tours of service because they didn't have the parades. They came home individually when they came out of service and came home on regular airplanes and not as a unit. Felt as though the nation didn't appreciate their service and their sacrifices. But that has made a total 180 in terms of their recognition and acceptance by not only the people in the country, but veterans organizations as well. Vietnam-era veterans coming through, and they are being recognized with a number of cars. I'm thinking at least a dozen so far coming through. Here's a veteran from Iraqi freedom. Oh, I think we're getting a flyover. There's a flyover. You want to check that out, Curtis, on our Facebook Live feed? There it is, right there, right over our heads. Woo! Amazing. Amazing. There's a Lebanon-era veteran. Desert Storm veterans coming through. hoisting the red, white, and blue. Some of these things happened so recently that we don't always bring them into account. Daughters of the American Revolution, the Fort McIntosh chapter in a classic Mustang driving by us now. Beaver has a very large contingency of the Daughters of the American Revolution, very patriotic community here in Beaver. There's the Fort McIntosh Foundation Jeep with a lot of young people riding in it. I understand that Fort McIntosh is going to have a special luncheon for members of the military coming up after the parade today. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you'll see a number of Model A's, Model T's, and old Fords traveling through. These are cars that generally kept in the garage for the most part, but they are well taken care of, babied throughout the years, and they look magnificent. They look like they would be showroom vehicles and probably could bring in a pretty penny as far as their value is concerned. The Beaver Marching Band led the parade this morning, and they were the only band in the parade. That's because all our other communities, New Brighton, Rochester, Monaca, Ambridge, Baden, they're all having their own Memorial Day parades. There's a car coming through with a flag. All gave some gave all. The red, white, and blue Super Jeep coming past the reviewing stand right now. You can just hear that motor. I just saw a newspaper article about this young lady. She's the distinguished young woman of Beaver County, riding up on a Buick LeSabre, sitting through the sunroof, but she's been named the distinguished young woman in Beaver County. The Beaver Area School District Education Foundation is coming through. A lot of students in the cars. Red, white, and blue, throwing out candy for the Beaver Area Education Foundation. Do a wonderful job, and just recently gave out a scholarship in Bob Barrickman's memory. Beaver Area Education Foundation do a lot for the students in Beaver. There's Michael Jackson's clone walking through. I think he's just about in every parade, don't you think? I think so. There he goes. He's not moonwalking yet, but there he goes with the glove on and dancing down the road. We've got a little bit of break in the action here. Curtis Walsh is with me, and Curtis, who are our advertisers for today, for the parade?
We've got the Beaver County Transit Authority, St. Barnabas Health System, and Moon Township Automotive, Falcone's Moon Township Ford.
Okay. And we're proud to have them as sponsors of the parade today and appreciate their support for Beaver County Radio and this Memorial Day parade. Here's the River's Edge Girl Scout Troop, Girl Scouts of Western Pennsylvania, and it's good to see all the young ladies participating in the parade, holding the red, white, and blue, and you've probably seen them in your town selling Girl Scout cookies and taking an active role in their communities. This is Troop 552857, I believe is what I'm reading on their banner. Girls, it looks like from ages 7 to 12. I could be wrong about that, but it seems as though that would be the age group for the Girl Scouts. Oh, look, and they even have some uniforms on, like I guess they'd be costumes, Thin Mints and Samoas. And I don't see them throwing out any Girl Scout cookies, though, Curtis. Oh, here's one of Eddie Crow's favorite sponsors in the band. It's the Ambridge Turtle Racing. Ambridge Turtle Racing. Now, if people will say, why isn't Eddie Crow at the parade? If you're watching us on Facebook, there's a person in a turtle costume Now, Eddie normally would wear a Beaver costume, but rumor has it that he might be in that turtle racing contest. Oh, look at that. There's a Ninja Turtle on the back of the truck as well. The Ambridge Turtle Racing, and I think they have an event coming up here soon. Uh-oh. And they're throwing basketballs into the... Uh-oh. Now the turtle's going to have to chase the ball. Never seen turtles move that fast, though. But he's going after it. Here's the Cub Scouts, Cub Scout Pack 406 from the First Presbyterian Church in Beaver, PA. Once again, youth being involved and appreciated by the local community, being represented here. The Pack 406 stopping in front of our review. Oh, Nate, come on. Uh-oh, Nate Bible. There he is. Hey! Nothing but net. Nothing but net, Nate. Very good. Shot from about 60 feet out. Here are the Boy Scouts, Pack 499 of the Boy Scouts of America. And they're the Brighton Township troop coming through. Takes a lot of dedication to be involved in some of these service organizations. And they learn so much about their country and God and country. And just being a part of the community is always wonderful to see. Now coming back. Oh, there's a couple of dogs. A couple of dogs having a conversation here on the grounds. These are youth baseball teams coming through. Looks like it could be maybe T-ball. It looks like T-ball out there. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. All right, hit a home run. Good, thanks. And I don't know who these are, more Little League groups. Looks like the Little Leagues. And I can remember, think, wow, they're just marching in the parade. But I can remember being young and the parades and the sports teams would be involved. And people on every street corner would be giving out poppies for a donation during the Memorial Day parades and reflections. So it's not unheard of. These are communities. This is a community program, and Beaver is definitely well represented here with the T-balls and the Little League baseball teams, girls and boys, the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts out for the parade this morning as well. And it's nice to see the community come out for a half an hour, 45 minutes on Memorial Day just to show their gratitude to those who gave all. And then for the rest of the day, they'll go off to their picnics and maybe ball games somewhere. But to just take a little bit of time, to devote a little bit of time on the morning of Memorial Day means the world to those families who lost a loved one, to those friends who lost a loved one in service, just to see the appreciation of the community. And I'm sure this is happening in every community around Beaver County, that towns all around us are showing their gratitude on Memorial Day. Must be coming up on the end of the parade. A couple of motorcycles, a couple of Harleys coming through town, followed by Brighton Township Police Department, Fire Department, the fire trucks coming through. Fire trucks are always a big part of any parade in Beaver County. I think the difference here is that the fire trucks, the fire departments are asked not to blow their sirens on Memorial Day or for Memorial Day parades. They will represent their various communities, this being Brighton Township coming through, but you don't hear the sirens, you don't hear the horns that you might on any other parade during the year. The Christmas parade, the July 4th parade, Veterans Day parade, quiet as they come through with the red, white, and blue bunting adorned on their fire trucks. Again, these are Brighton Township Fire Department trucks coming through right now. I want to remind you that coming up on Sunday, June 9th, at the gazebo here in Beaver, Support Our Troops rally begins at 3 o'clock. Bob Gwynn stopped by. Bob is very big in the troops and the veterans movement, and they have a Support Our Troops rally. This is one of many that they've held to give thanks. They have music, they have prayer, they have patriotism, and that's happening on June 9th, 2024, if you want to mark your calendar for that and come out. Small town America, it's what it's all about. And we are small town America, where many people may live in or work in the Pittsburgh area, Robinson Township, Cranberry area. Beaver County is well represented and very well loved as small town America. And it's the quality of life that they seek when they move to Beaver County. Want to have quality of life, and if there's anything that represents that any more than this parade we see here today, where you see veterans, and you know that Beaver County residents have given sacrifice over the years, family and friends as well, but also the Youth League baseballs, the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts and the fire departments, many of which are volunteer in this day and age, where people are active in their communities. That's the quality of life that you often hear about in Beaver County. If we've been residents here through most of our lives, of course, we may not appreciate that as much. But there are a number of people, and real estate agents will tell you, there are a number of people coming to Beaver County for that very reason. They want and they have to work in the bigger cities and the bigger communities, but they want to come home from work. They want to raise their families in a safe community and environment, and that's why Beaver County continues to grow in population and homes being built. We're being passed by now by the Bridgewater Fire Department and the Bridgewater Fire Rescue fire trucks, followed by the Vanport Volunteer Fire Department. They have a black and gold fire truck, a very big fire trucks, but you normally see a lot of red fire trucks over the years and the generations. Vanport has engine 242, which is black and gold. The Beaver Fire Department Command Center, passing by the reviewing stand. I'm describing this all to you, but if you watch it on Facebook Live, you'll be able to see this. Now, there is a Beaver pumper vehicle. I can't even call it a truck. It's from 1836. 1836. It's carrying a hose, and in those days, that's how they used to fight fires. The Beaver Area Fire Department is coming through now with their vehicles. The pumper trucks, the ladder trucks, Beaver Volunteer Fire Department 101, Beaver Volunteer Fire Department with the ladder truck coming through as well. And it appears as though that is going to be the conclusion of the parade here in Beaver, and perhaps in your hometown as well. But we remember those to give. We give thanks to those who gave the ultimate sacrifice to their families, their comrades, and Beaver has truly shown up for this Memorial Day remembrance. And Beaver County Radio is proud to be a part of it. Eddie Crow will be coming up shortly with his Teleform program, and I'm sure he'll have a lot to talk about. We have to just give him a couple of more minutes to get out of that turtle costume before he gets back on the air today. But definitely something to behold. All these people, all the red, white, and blue, all the patriotism. I see Tony Guy over there as well, the sheriff of Beaver County. Haven't seen Tony in a little while, but I see Tony out there, and just wonderful to be a part of all this in Beaver County. We'll get a time check here. We've got a couple of sponsors to take care of, and basically we are probably have a local newscast coming up here shortly. But Curtis Walsh and I here in Beaver The rain held off. I feel a little bit of light rain now, Curtis, but the parade has passed us by. So I think that that Mother Nature worked with us here in an effort to get this parade up and going and see all the patriotism and over with.
So that makes me think I need to hurry up and clean this stuff up. We made it this far.
Yeah, we don't want to tempt the forecast. It's been breezy, but it has been enjoyable for the parade. Good to see all these people to come out for the parade.
Very good. A decent length too. You know, some of these parades, because of all the towns doing them, they don't get to last as long as some of the other parades. But this was very good. I think we clocked in around at least 30 minutes or so, I believe.
Yeah, because it started right around 10:30. We're not able to see anything past Market Street, but what we saw here from Market Street to the county garage, there were a lot of people here. A lot of families showing up.
Sure were.
And I'm watching them stream out down Market Street. So I think the city of Beaver, the town of Beaver, has been well represented as well. And what a patriotic feel there was in the air this morning.
Yes.
All right. Outside of the Beaver County Courthouse, Beaver County Radio, Mike Romay and Curtis Walsh, we thank you for joining us on Facebook Live as well as here in person or over the radio. And if you were here, or didn't get a chance to see it, this Facebook Live will remain on Facebook, right?
It's there forever. Also on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
Beaver County Radio on YouTube.
So you can see it all. Thanks, Curtis.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, and thanks to those veterans, and thanks to the families who lost loved ones. We appreciate your sacrifice and their sacrifice. Thank you very much from Beaver County Radio.